How is the game? I really like it. I really like the game. It's fun. It's enjoyable. If I'm being honest, though, how do I word this? How do I talk about this? This is really hard to do. This is the first time I've ever played a fighting game that's not an established franchise. I have never picked up, like, a random fighting game, you know? I've always played Tekken, King of Fighters, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur. These are all games that, for the most part, they've been established franchises. So I'm kind of coming into this in a bit of a weird situation. I saw someone say that if you lab against Crusader, that means you love the devil and are going to hell. That guy is crazy shit. He is crazy shit. The game kind of has a kusoge element, and I'm using this term kusoge in like a blanket term. I don't really know if I mean that negatively. But when I say kusoge, I mean, like, you know Grand Blue? Did you ever play Grand Blue Chaos? I never played it, but I watched a lot of it. And I honestly felt like that game had some cool stuff, but it was mostly like really simple strike or throw. So as cool as some of the stuff was, it wasn't really all that cool to like make me want to play it. I never played it, it always looked boring to me. That's what I mean, right? Nothing really looked particularly cool, and so I didn't really want to play it. The characters didn't look that cool. What you did in the game didn't look that cool. There just wasn't much to really bring in, right? This game has a lot of that element where it kind of comes off as just like it's just an anime game. It's just an anime fighting game with no history. Granted, DNF, Dungeon Fighters Online, has a history. But this is the first time it turned into a fighting game, and all it's really trying to do is be a simple fighting game for people to kind of mash buttons and play. And they managed to do that with the simple commands and everything, but I think they've also managed to do it by making it really wild in terms of like what you can do, right? Like, check this out. This is what I mean. This is going to be a great example. 100%, this is a great example, right? If you were playing Zangief, as you know, Zangief's got a command grab, and it would be something like this. Command grab, right? You would do a 360 pile driver, boom, dead, right? You could not do it in the air unless it's his ultra or some shit like that. You wouldn't be able to do it in the middle of a combo. You wouldn't be able to do any of that, right? Hang on. Just a second. Not only am I able to do a command grab in the air, so in the air, it would work, I can do it while he's standing there. As long as I trigger it to happen on him, I can grab him while he is standing on the ground and I am in the air. And I can do it without the fully charged buff version too. That is a great example of what I mean by giving like a sense of empowerment to these characters. They can do things that in traditional fighting games you would not be able to do. And it leads to some pretty ridiculous but cool looking shit. It looks cool to me because who on earth has the ability to do a command grab in the middle of the air? And it can work on a grounded opponent. That is crazy. It's definitely cool. But here's where it gets difficult. It is cool. But what happens when every character has crazy shit like that? It gets really crazy, right? Like, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell where the balance is going to be because everybody is getting these kind of things that in a traditional sense, it seems really broken. It seems really broken. And so you do get some characters that are just like disgustingly cool, because they could do some really disgusting things. Dragon Knight has Akuma's air fireball, but she can do it while jumping backwards. And it's a much bigger fireball. It's really dominant. Ghostblade has incredible range, just swinging buttons. I don't know really what Ghostblade's about, honestly, but I mean, he's got these crazy ass ranges. He's got this guy that can come out and stuff. These seem like over the top moves, and it's very attractive. Yeah, he could do it in Third Strike. And a lot of people, I mean, that's his thing in Third Strike, right? Is that he's highly mobile, highly contentious that way, but he also has low health, right? That's the balancing factor, is he got low health. Everybody in this game seems to have the same health. I might be wrong, but so far no one's really mentioned if there's like differentiating health or anything like that. But the main thing is that someone who isn't built like Akuma has that Akuma move, and it's very powerful. Akuma doesn't even have it in any of his other Street Fighters. Am I saying that wrong? Maybe he does. But like, it's very rare for him to get a jump back fireball. They don't want him to have it because it's very, very strong. She has a bigger version of it. She's got a bigger, safer version of a jump back fireball. There's a character that literally teleports. You would think there is like a balancing factor, and there kind of is, but not really. He just literally teleports and swaps sides with you and does damage, and it's crazy. That's kind of what I mean by Kusoge, though. There is such crazy stuff that you can do, and it's all built into these characters. And so it becomes like, who can slam their cannon against the other guy first? You get what I'm saying? Like, old days of World of Warcraft. If you were a mage, you can two-shot a warrior with your fireball. If you were a warrior and you didn't get rooted, you could Mortal Strike and then, what was it, Rend? You can Mortal Strike and Rend a mage down in like a second. It's like this huge pyroblast. It's this huge exchange of cannon fire. And every character seems to be built in that fashion. And then the characters that are like not huge damage, they get a lot of utility that's even crazier than the stuff here that we're talking about with the grappler, grappling in the middle of the air and stuff. So this wildly powerful stuff creates a game that to me feels wildly unbalanced. But I only say that because I'm not used to this. I've never done this before. This is a brand new franchise. I've never played anything quite like it. But it is like if you took Grand Blue and you took off all the restrictions. And you just created like a wild experiment, right? That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like a wild experiment. The guys who make this game are Adark. And apparently Adark is notorious for making games like this, where the game is just wild. Very, very loose in terms of like how you can get your damage out, but there is a structure to things. You do have to go through paces. If you play most of the characters, they are pretty well built in the pathway that you do your damage. But if you play someone like Troubleshooter, you can actually do variations on your damage. You can actually change the way that you combo structure with Troubleshooter. That's his thing. That's what he gets to do. But a lot of other characters don't have access to that, but they do get other things. It's really hard for me to, like, look at the future and say, oh yeah, this is going to be, the next big thing. I honestly don't think it's going to be the big thing at all. You got a meeting? Sorry, buddy. I think I'll be here. I am getting hungry, but I'll try and stick around a bit. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I like the game a lot. I'm having a lot of fun. But the reason that I am having a lot of fun as Grappler is because I like Grappler. I like his character. I like his aesthetics. He looks cool. I don't like anime, but he looks cool for what he is. And he plays well. He does things that I enjoy doing in a game. It's just that the reason I can do anything with Grappler right now is because other people are not locking me in place and forcing me to do something to get out of it. eventually that's going to be the case. Grappler will not be able to escape certain amounts of pressure. He's going to have very few opportunities to get out, and players are going to be extremely mindful of those moments where the grappler can actually get out of pressure situations. Once that starts happening, I really feel like Grappler is going to be completely held down, 100%. I feel like he's going to be held down, and the ridiculous amount of damage that he can do when he gets a moment isn't going to matter, because players are going to be so good that they're just going to keep him down, and he will never be able to utilize those moments. I'm saying that only because I get the feeling that this game isn't going to really focus heavily on balancing. It's going to focus heavily on letting you do cool shit, which means someone, or probably a couple someones, are going to have some really good things that by their nature dominates all the other cast members. That's what I feel like. I feel like that's going to be the future of the game. So, that definition to me is Kusoge. That's what a Kusoge game means to me. The balance isn't really a primary factor. The fun factor is what they're going for, which means your favorite character might just kind of get left in the dust. There might be nothing you can do about it. He might suck, and that's that. You know, nothing else to be done. That kind of sucks, especially if you're like a new player, which this game wants to appeal to because you've got these simple command inputs, which are totally fine, actually. I use them. I also use the commands. Like, it works out either way. It's totally fine. I like the integration of how simple inputs work with the command inputs. I think this is a very reasonable balance. It'd be nicer if there was a little bit more of a reward for doing the command, but right now it's not a problem. I think that ultimate design goal is going to make people want to move on to the next thing. I think that's what's going to happen. Eventually people are going to get good enough to play a lot of the characters that they're just going to find certain characters are struggling like ridiculously hard. Remember Sorez from Grand Blue? I know you didn't play it, but Sorez was considered like way below Lothire. It's really interesting how that happened to Sorez. He basically has no way of getting in and like staying in to do his pressure game. There is no pressure game. They basically made him to be cool, and that's it. But they didn't give him the functionality to do what he should be doing as his character. And as a result, he just was so low tier you never saw him. I fear that that's probably what will happen for this game. I don't know if it's going to happen to Grappler, but I do feel like the potential for that to happen is here. It's going to be interesting to see where the game ends up. Also, I'll be right back. I'm curious too. I might be totally wildly off. That, you know, the vibe I get of being a Kusoge is potentially going to be its downfall. But I also kind of feel like it's fun to play something that doesn't really care about what most fighting games care about. This game cares about, like, how can we empower these characters to do ridiculous things. I think that's cool. And it is fun. But I also have to tell myself, hey, don't take this seriously. If you take this seriously, your character is going to get beat out. You're going to be frustrated, and they're not going to balance it so that your character has a chance. You know, that's how I keep telling myself. I keep telling myself and how I feel. That's a pretty bad feeling to have. And it makes it hard to, like, really sing the game's praises and be like, this is great. You know, it's fantastic. Really, the best thing I could say about this game is that if you made Grand Blue more interesting, this game would be the result. So if Grand Blue was kind of like, it's too stifling, it's too stiff, you know, this game opens up quite a bit. I wish the movement speed was way better. I wish the movement speed for Grappler and for the whole character set you're barely moving. You're barely moving. It's so slow. Look how slow. It's not fast even for this guy. It looks a little faster actually, but not much. Let's begin recording. Let's see. Oh, I did that wrong. All right. He seems to advance on me a little faster than... Oh, no, wait. Cancel. Yeah, so he's got... You can kind of see the difference in... Not perfectly. Yeah, it's not perfectly there, but you can kind of see the difference isn't really substantial. It just, there is a difference. You can see it. So the walk speed, I wish the walk speed was faster. I don't know. The game is at its core kind of a simple strike and throw for Grappler, and so this kind of thing hurts him more than the other cast. In a game where everybody is slow, mobility becomes a huge factor, and characters that are really mobile become really good. But so ultimately, I mean, I'm enjoying the game a lot. I like it. I'll probably play it for a bit. I'll probably play it so long as I enjoy Grappler, and then maybe I'll learn some Ghostblade just to do somebody else. Maybe another character, maybe Troubleshooter or something. I would like to branch out and play some different characters. I honestly don't know what to do with most of them. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with all this stuff, but yeah, I think it'll be fun. I mean, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I just don't know how long it's going to go for. I don't know when people are going to be like, okay, I'm sick of this. I don't know when people are going to say, like, I'm sick of this. But I think that is a point where people will start feeling that way. But maybe it will retake. The thing is, like, I know I'm talking a lot of shit, and I don't mean to. Honest opinion, right? Just an honest initial opinion. The matchmaking has been really damn good. The quality of the matches have been very reasonable. Very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. The only thing that this game is lacking, the matchmaking is great because it's not a lobby system. It's an actual rank match auto-find each other feature. It's really, really smart because it's really basic. It's been in fighting games for decades. It's a very good way. When you can't come up with a new way, the old way is the best way. And then they have a lobby system for player matches, which I might actually start doing as well. Very good. Matchmaking in that way is very good. And then the quality of the matches are very reasonable because it has proper rollback. And it works quite well. I've had a number of good times with it. I think that aspect of it could keep this game alive. I think it could keep it going. Simply because of those quality features. They are quality features. They are important to a fighting game, and this game does a very good job of having it. And it's really important to have it. The only thing that would make this better, and I would actually say almost secure a healthy player base, is if it was crossplay. If it had crossplay between PC, I don't even think this game is on Xbox. If it had crossplay with PC, oh yeah, I think this would be. I think it'd be a winner. I really do. I think it would be a healthy game. I don't think it can really reach the heights of the main franchise. I really don't think so. But again, like, take that opinion with a grain of salt. I really don't know this stuff well enough to really make that call. I'm largely just saying this because of maybe it's more my preference that this kind of game doesn't really appeal to me normally. Right now I'm in a drought. I haven't played fighting games in forever, and I'm really, like, eating that up, you know? I'm eating it up. I'm eating that up. I like doing this. It's a simple combo. It's easy, but it's fun. And I have this that I can work on if I really want to try and be cool, you know? Which is really sick, you know?